In biology, we deal with things of all different sizes. Things which are very, very small, which we use very special microscopes to be able to observe, to very, very large things, which obviously we can see with our naked eye. When we have to deal with experiments where we have to measure things which are very, very small and very, very large, we say the experiment has a very large dynamic range. And being able to handle those numbers in a way which makes sense and is easily represented is where we use things like exponential numbers, logarithms, or even different scientific units to explain our data. So an example of an experiment where we deal with large variations in numbers is something like when we're looking at bacterial growth. We may have an experiment that starts off with 1 or 2 cells in a test tube, and then over the course of time, the numbers of those cells increase into the billions. And being able to represent those numbers in a simple way, where we can appreciate what's happening down when the cell numbers are very low, and also where they're very high, is where we start using things like scientific notation and exponential numbers. So when you start doing some microbiology, or even if you're doing things like population dynamics with insect reproduction and things like that, we often use exponential numbers. Scientific units are a way of abbreviating exponential numbers. We all know that sometimes when we go and need a dose of a drug, it may be a vitamin B shot because you're vitamin B deficient. The doctor will talk about giving you a dose in micrograms or milligrams of the particular drug. Those terms, micrograms and milligrams, are really basically shorthand notation for exponential numbers. So it's really important because in a lot of scientific recording of data, we record things in units such as micrograms, micromoles, femtomoles, and similar sorts of units, that students understand what these terms mean and be able to relate them to exponential numbers.